Today in the art studio, we'll be creating a color theory chameleon. Materials you will need for this project include paper, pencil, black marker, and then you can choose markers, crayons, colored pencils, or watercolor. Really, the options are endless. I used my Crayola markers and a little water to blend my marker on my chameleon. The focus for this project is to learn the various different types of color theory. So we have the spectrum of the rainbow, your warm colors, cool colors, analogous colors, complementary colors, and monochromatic. So let's get started. A resource I have available on Teachers by Teachers is a full coloring page that you can use with younger students that may not be able to follow along and draw this chameleon. Alright, let's get started making our chameleon. Make sure you have a paper and a pencil and an eraser ready, just in case. So to start this, you're going to create a triangle that has a little bit rounder sides, not so straight. Next, you're going to add two parallel lines going horizontal, almost to make it look like a rocket ship. From your top line, you're going to come around and you're going to make a big swirl to make the chameleon's tail. Make it as swirly as you want. Then you'll connect from the bottom line all the way down to connect the bottom of the tail. Next up, we're going to create the legs. So the front leg is going to come down two diagonal parallel lines, and then they come back and make an upside down V, and then round it out with an upside down C. Repeat the same with the back leg, it's just a little bit smaller. Same direction, same V at the bottom, and your upside down C or U. Now we've got legs. And don't forget your spiky back all the way down. It should get smaller as you go further down the tail. And then for your eye, you're going to make an oval and then a little eye on the inside. I didn't color in my eye right there because I wanted to be able to do it with marker later. And then a smile just below the point. And go in and erase out any of your lines that overlap. Redraw anything you maybe had erased. And then for the branch, just kind of do a little swirl line. Remember, branches are very organic. You want it to look like it's natural. And there you go. You've created your very first chameleon. As you can see, I've added flowers and leaves to my chameleon. This is so students can practice their color theory for warm colors, cool colors, analogous colors, and complementary colors. I also did monochromatic in the background, as you'll see in a little bit. The first step after we've done our drawing is to go through and outline everything with our black marker. You could use ultrafine Sharpie here, or you could use your black Crayola. I would just be cautious with the black Crayola if you are planning to use water to blend the chameleon colors. The black Crayola will bleed, so I would use a Sharpie if that is your plan. If you're only planning to just use marker and make it striped, or to use some other material, then you would be okay with the Sharpie. Watercolor, regular watercolor, I also wouldn't use the Crayola, I would use a Sharpie. So I started with my chameleon knowing that I was going to be using water to help blend my colors. I wanted to give it time to dry. So I started with red, and then I went through and did every color of the color spectrum of the rainbow. I overlapped my colors just a little bit so that when I went in with the water that I knew it would blend a little bit easier. Feel free to pause at this time so that you can get your chameleon colored in. Meanwhile, I am going to finish coloring in mine, and then I'm going to go through and watercolor it. Next up, we're going to start coloring our leaves and our flowers. So I'm starting with my hibiscus flower at the top, and I chose to do this in an analogous color scheme. So analogous is colors that sit next to each other side by side on the color wheel. So we have blue, blue-green, and green. There's a lot of different varieties of analogous colors, so don't think you have to do just those three. Just pick any three that are next to each other on the color wheel. My next leaf is going to be my warm colors. So warm is colors that represent heat, so red, orange, and yellow. Next up, I'm going to do my flower in cool colors. So cool colors are colors that represent ice and water and cooler temperatures. So your blue and your purple and your greens. My next set of leaves I did in complementary colors. So these are colors that are opposite of each other on the color wheel. So purple and yellow, blue and orange, and red and green. I like to start with purple and yellow when I'm teaching my students because it's a really great time to teach them how they relate to sports and various different things, and the students get really excited when they recognize something. The last thing I'm going to do for the leaves is another analogous setup. So this is yellow, yellow-green, and green. So you can see that you can make a whole variety of different analogous colors. I did my legs on my chameleon black just because I wanted to keep it really neutral. I did my branch in brown, which is a neutral color as well. And then for my background, I chose to do a monochromatic color scheme. So I started by coloring it in a lighter blue. You don't have to do it that way. It was just how I started, and then I realized that I wanted to do the lighter blue at the top. So I ended up filling the entire thing with the lighter blue, and then went in and layered in my darker colors as I went. Thank you for creating with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you need the coloring sheet, check out my Teachers Pay Teachers. I also have another resource for color theory that is an ocean with a boat and fish and seagulls, and that comes along with a couple different worksheets that explain all the different aspects of color theory and how to color in that worksheet so that students can learn about colors and the various different color schemes.